His name is Rex. He spent 6 years as an active duty police canine. He saved lives for a living, then he retired. And nobody came for him.
Every morning, he walked to that gate, sat down and waited. Not like a dog waiting for a walk, like a soldier waiting for orders. His kennel card said, "Retired canine, 6 years service, needs special home." 2 police officers visited in October. They read his service record, then they kept walking. He watched them go without moving a muscle. Families came and went. The kids wanted something that jumped and barked. Rex just sat there and looked at them with those calm, dark eyes.
The staff member who cared for him most would sometimes remove his vest to wash it. He would watch where it went the whole time. When she brought it back, he let her put it on without moving. Because the vest still meant something to him, it was the only thing that still connected him to what he was. Day after day, week after week, his day's counter kept climbing. The corridor outside his gate kept moving. Families kept coming and going. Rex kept sitting. 247 mornings he woke up in that kennel. If you're watching this and you've ever felt passed over, keep watching. This one is for you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. There's more coming.
Another dog got adopted that same week. Rex watched the family celebrate from behind his gate. He watched until they were gone.
The staff member sat with him at the end of that day on the concrete floor of his kennel. He leaned against her side and stayed there. On a Tuesday morning in November, a car pulled into the shelter car park. He was in his late 40s, short grey hair, a slight limp. The staff member at the front desk listened to what they were looking for. Then she looked toward the corridor. She stood at his gate for a moment before going back for them, read the card, looked at him. Rex heard the footsteps coming down the corridor before anyone arrived. He lifted his head off his paws. His ears came forward. He had heard many footsteps over 247 days. The man stopped in front of his kennel. Rex stood up and walked to the gate, like he already knew something the rest of the corridor didn't. The man could not see him, but he could hear him. He tilted his head slightly, then reached one hand out toward the chain link. Then he rested his chin on the man's hand through the chain link and stayed there. The man did not move. The corridor kept moving around them. The man said something quietly to the woman beside him. She listened. Her eyes filled. The staff member read his service record out loud to the man. 6 years active service, 23 confirmed fines. Then the man said something that made the staff member stop completely. She looked at him, then at Rex, then back at the man. The gate opened. Rex walked out on his own terms, calm and deliberate. He walked directly to the man and sat down at his left side, perfectly positioned. The man reached down with his left hand and rested it on Rex's broad head. Rex did not move. The corridor was completely quiet. The woman watched them both from a few feet back. She did not speak. She just watched. If this story is hitting you the way it's hitting us, share it with someone who needs to see it today. And subscribe if you haven't. Rex had never been trained as a guide dog, but he walked beside that man down the shelter corridor like he had been doing it his whole life. The staff member who had watched all of this had to turn away and face the wall. She put one hand against it. She stayed like that for a moment. The woman filled out the adoption paperwork at the front desk. Behind her, in the reception area, Rex sat at the man's left side while the paperwork was completed around them. The staff lined up to say goodbye to him, one by one. Every person who had fed him and cared for him through 247 days. The staff member who had sat with him on the quiet days went last.
She held his face in both hands and looked at him for a long moment. A white guide dog harness was fitted carefully over his canine police vest, both visible together. 6 years of one life, the beginning of another. The man reached down and took hold of the guide harness handle for the first time. Rex did not move. They walked toward the exit together, the man holding the harness handle, Rex at his left side, the woman alongside. Outside, for the first time in 247 days, Rex lifted his nose and took in the outside air slowly. The man stood beside him, holding the harness. They walked across the car park together. Halfway across, Rex guided the man around a small obstacle without any instruction. In the back seat of the car, Rex pressed against the man's side. The man's left hand rested on Rex's back. At the modest house, Rex stepped out onto the path and immediately positioned himself at the man's left side. He guided him up the concrete path to the front door without a single hesitation. They walked through the front door together. Rex stopped inside and looked around the room.
Good boy. We're home.
The man sat down on the couch. Rex walked to his feet and sat down immediately. Perfectly positioned. The woman removed the guide harness carefully. The canine vest stayed on underneath. She folded the harness and set it aside. Rex watched her, then looked back up at the man sitting above him. The man sat quietly on the couch. Rex rested his chin on the man's knee slowly. The man's hand came down and rested on Rex's broad head. The room was warm and quiet around them both. The woman watched them from the doorway for a moment, then quietly stepped back and left. The room was theirs now.
The man fell asleep on the couch in the afternoon. Rex sat at his feet, completely awake, watching the room, alert and still, on duty, the way he had always been, the way he would always be.
Rex heard something in the house later that afternoon. His ears came forward. He looked toward the hallway, then looked back up at the man. The man had heard nothing. Rex settled back down, already working.
Then Rex did something small, shifted position, leaned into the man slightly, sighed, and the man smiled, quietly, just for a second. The smallest smile. The first one. Nobody was meant to see it. 247 days in that shelter. 6 years of service before that. And all of it, every single day of it, had been leading him to exactly this door, exactly this man.